finale to arrive. We will talk about what annoyed me with it in more detail later in the video though. But rest assured, this episode might have left me feeling disappointed, but that disappointment did not last. And that's because episode 10 is nothing less than a modern TV monument. The season 2 finale of Severance is one of the most spectacular episodes of television of our time. It is an hour and 16 minutes of filmmakers, writers, and actors just flexing on us from beginning to end. It's absolutely wild. The scene of Audi Mark and Any Mark finally getting to talk to one another exceeded all of my expectations. In trying to figure out a way for them to communicate, which was a big part of the first half of the season, I imagined so many ways for the two of them to meet and so many scenarios depicting how that would go, but I really think the show outdid itself with this scene. Because the moment this conversation begins, the moment they actually manage to exchange words, I could feel myself getting nervous. Because in my head, since season 1, there was never a plausible scenario in which Any Mark and Audi Mark would ever get along. I always anticipated this conversation to go terribly. Audi Mark, Mark Scout, wouldn't be able to stomach it. Mark Scout has always been presented to us as a somewhat self-centered individual. Like, he's kind of a selfish guy. He's also not a very nice person. He's short-tempered and impatient.
Open your eyes.
Polite.
Reality
Often
is
shown to us being
illusion.
unnecessarily rude to people. And sure, something that is probably exacerbated by him grieving his wife. But episode 7 of season 2 shows us that Mark was already like that in some capacity when Gemma was still around and his life was normal. He's not necessarily a bad person. He might even be a good person, but he's definitely not a nice person. And when you pair that with a big reality of Mark Scout's character, along with his sister Devon and many people outside of Blue, the possibility of that conversation going well is close to non-existent. The big theme I'm talking about here is, of course, the reoccurring reality of dehumanizing any. From the second they start talking, you can tell Mark Scout does not view Mark S as a person. He talks down to him, he's incredibly dismissive of his feelings, his tone is incredibly condescending, and the compassion he shows towards him in that first message is incredibly disingenuous and performative.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
He's actually talking to his Audi.
Some call me arrogant. Mostly they're jealous.
And you can tell he feels joy the first time he sees him.
More foes to conquer.
Might be a bit
I am strengthened.
It doesn't take long for him to see that Audi is not being able to separate his world. Audi is ready to say anything to get Gemma, even though the storm is telling him.
Leave me, darkness.
Says he agrees to help him and Twilight will say him that he's fucking it never gets frustrated for him. And it's not just that Mark Scout is being selfish right now.
Without Spider-Man, New York has lost its heart.
As he intends to let his enemy disappear after this.
Good medicine.
You forget they ever existed. They disappear all over and really get them.
Take a look to your
He talks to his Annie like he's trying to convince a child to eat his vegetables. He's incredibly condescending, which is unhealthy for him, but with
Feel no shame in defeat by Doctor Strange. Good medicine.
And the thing is,
I am ready to put on a show!
interest in his life by getting Ellie's name wrong, which is an interesting parallel to the previous episode. Scout meets him in a restaurant and gets Gemma's name wrong.
The Sorcerer Supreme returns.
By calling her Melanie, he confirms to Eddie Mark that all of this compassion of the show is for permission, that he doesn't actually care. Unfortunately, he is leading Eddie Mark at a time where he is particularly fed up with people trying to manipulate. And that moment, is how he is better than he essentially does it to go and so this is a complete disaster.
Without Spider-Man, New York has lost its heart.
Absolutely convinced that Eddie Mark is going to and the only person
Revenge, unwholesome, good medicine.
An opportunity for combat.
It is such a fantastic display
Without Spider-Man, New York has lost its heart.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
And Marquez, on the other hand, is more on than we've ever seen.
Eagle who sits atop the
Days are
world
returned,
tree.
and he's
Hate to break it to you, but Hawkeye is just
gonna say
cooking. I bet my pal Sam would love to be
the
first.
scene of
Well, Midgard has
Good medicine.
the entire show and scripted seven for season 3. How much Ellie was not as active of a character as she was in season 1, which is mostly due to the fact that she appears in about the seasons.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
She only reappears in the final scene of episode 4, and then truly reintegrates the story in episode 5. And given the fact that episode 7 is all about Gemma,
Here they are.
mostly a
Why
flashback
fight
episode,
your way
and
to
nobody
the
gets back to
citadel
Disco
of these
Bell.
unholy
Hey,
almost there. Don't turn back now.
Judge, jury, executioner!
This scene makes up for
The
it.
vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Because if this scene says one thing, it is, oh, don't worry, season 3 might entirely be about Ellie. She might be the most important person in that entire show. Now, this is a scene where a lot of people were expecting something crazier, and I think this is an example of people getting way too carried away with wanting absolutely everything in the show to have, like,
We must
a
confront
secret
Dracula
ending
himself to lift this curse.
or whatever. The end of episode 9 had the first part of the scene where
Disappear!
shows up and says, "You tricked me."
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
They're bad guys.
I am ready to put on a show.
I felt like I was going crazy.
Here's how you
Pentagram of Ferrara.
Where he met Ellie for the first time believing she was Helena. It's the last time they saw each other.
Without Spider-Man, New York has lost its heart. We must confront Dracula himself to lift this curse.
Every second of every episode is about this should be very straightforward with us. They come face to face and reveals to Ellie that
Out, dark magic! I am strengthened for battle.
so the next one attempt to the air, think about what he did to the children in the shadow. So
We got company.
dating. James says is the spirit of fear in action, which essentially makes her the most intelligent person. That to me is the greatest revelation.
Ancient One, I hope my successes make you proud. Ancient Beast of Igsgard, we shall guide you.
Because that could mean
By the Eye of Agamotto!
Midgard has his words.
identity is Jane going to permanently
So close.
sever
This is your big chance.
to take over everything.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The mystic arts won't fail me again.
BB in that movie is fascinating, especially considering the fact that
feast for
season
my
2 makes
crows.
some point of showing us that Helena isn't any more free than
An
Lee.
opportunity
See that she
for
develops
combat.
a bit of a fixation with Ellie, and more
I
specifically, she
merely wish that I was as
increasingly
adored by
jealous.
the heroes of Midgard as you.
They can reprise Ellie
Another epic victory. Big win.
shit, and she's envious to have that for herself, to have that romance for herself, to the point where she goes and tricks Mark into sleeping with her while she pretends to be Helly, which is essentially, well, rape. So what will happen? What will Helena be capable of when she finds out that her father considers her severed personality to be his rightful heir? I don't know. That's just one theory among dozens of others, but that has officially become the most intriguing thing for me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes in season 3. This scene had me pumped. Dylan returning to the office and seeing that his Audi communicated with him after his request to quit was surprisingly emotional in a sense. We've been conditioned to see Audi Dylan as kind of a person. We've never really seen him be anything other than frustrated, annoyed, or dismissive. So the fact that he ends up being the person that offers the biggest amount of genuine compassion towards his Innie was a very pleasant surprise that says a lot about his character. I love that
You'll
he
need a
acknowledges his
top-notch
desire
team to win
be
this
a better
one.
man and tells his Innie that he is an inspiration for growth. It was such an unexpected moment for him. And
I
most
have
of all, in
mutant
a move
powers,
that is
and a
almost
little
humanizing
demonic
to
magic,
an Innie,
too.
he gives him a choice. He essentially tells his Innie that he gets to choose whether he keeps existing or not, which is something none of the other characters would ever consider. I absolutely love that scene. It was great. Also, Milchik bolting out of the room like Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the most random pieces of comedy I've ever seen. That was hilarious.
Did you see my brother? Tell him I miss him.
30
The
seconds before you attack.
Ian
Get
Merriman
ready.
scene was a fucking acid trip, but it was really fun. There is a very specific cultural significance to
It's nice to
Milchik,
finally
a
team up with
black
somebody
man
just
leading
like
an
me.
HBCU
You
marching
have a
band.
fully
It is no
weaponized
coincidence that the
Spider-Man
overwhelming majority of the people in the
but I
band
do have an
are
army of
black. It's a very strong centerpiece of African American culture that represents their individual HBCUs, and Tramel Tillman
The
plays
battle
Milchik,
starts in
graduated
5,
from an
4,
HBCU in Louisiana,
3,
so it was just a
2,
very loud and
1.
proud expression of Milchik's identity in this performance. Alright, let's get this
Enemy identified.
They managed to keep it weird in a way. Ventured into the hallways to find the door to the testing room, and that's when shit really gets crazy. The finale would have already been great if it had been those first 15-ish minutes, but guys, I say the last 20 minutes of the finale might be some of the greatest television ever made. It is so fucking balls to the wall and so rewarding on an emotional level. It's crazy. You gotta understand, Severance is a show where you essentially watch a lot of characters
Alright,
being
let's
on
get
the
this
brink
bolt
of a
ring to
meltdown,
Avengers
but that are
Tower.
always everybody
Keep going.
start to humble. The last 20 minutes of the finale is the point where all of those walls are down. Everybody starts losing their fucking shit, and it is so satisfying to watch. Narratively speaking, it feels like a very earned climax. It is very focused on the characters, which is something important I'm going to touch on more later in this
Magic
video.
is
And despite the
back.
fact that I have a tiny bit of an issue with that,
Get
I
that
also
vehicle
think
moving
it is
again.
a major strength for the specific way they go about bringing that climax. It very much feels like every individual character the fight scene in the hallway is so vivid, directed. I don't know how they managed to make it successful, but also again, that's what the scene the show goes back to a lot of depicting
Do not
violence
fear,
on
little
screen. So
one. We
when
will
it
guide
gets
you.
to the point where
Logan
it feels shocking but earned. And this scene is fucking awesome. Gwendolyn Christie makes
Just in
it
time.
such a great sequence. Very much the show that I've tried everyone. This scene great mystery that everyone was speaking at. I think it's super honest. I didn't care much for the ghost thing. I assumed it wouldn't have that big of an importance in the story, and that's made it recently that when they introduced the ghost, they actually had no idea what it was or what it meant. They just wanted to do something random and weird to working on it. So, and I think it ended up being taken a little too far when you realize how much it gets this stuff on the rest. That was kind of the case. Okay, sure. Go on from here. The accidental kill of Mr. Drummond in the elevator is one of my favorite TV moments of all time. It is such a clever use of the show's score, still riding that perfect line between being genuinely horrifying and just so fucking funny. Adam Scott is just on fire in this episode. He manages to play so many weird and different dynamics in such short amounts of time. Every switch is handled perfectly.
Look at that fucking bitch.
I'll patch you up.
You're not rid of me yet.
The scene of Mark reuniting
Only
with
60
Gemma
seconds
is
left.
something I was waiting
Get that
for
vehicle
so
moving again.
hard. Something I was holding in such high regard in my mind. It felt like one of those scenes you know the writers are aware they are not.
Come, my minion.
And if I'm being completely honest, I genuinely don't think that see this basically moving. Even this like the hallway at the elevator, everything was so
Fuck! Move up, man.
It's so fucking good. It's so creative. In the span of like 5 minutes, the writers make Mark and Gemma
My soul charge.
4 different combinations of personalities. First, Mark Scout meets the Pearl Harbor personality.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Finally get the real reunion of Scout. They get a short moment to exist together again after 2 long years, and then they run away. They get in the elevator, they arrive in a separate floor, and they get another combination. Now switch to Indian and Stacy.
Behold the god of thunder!
Miss Stacy to the stairs. Once he does, Miss Stacy walks out of the center floor and gets her combination, which is Gemma meets Ingmar for the first time. But Ingmar completed his mission, got Gemma out, but doesn't know Gemma, doesn't love her, doesn't care for her. He did his part by choosing to save her life. But now that he's done it, he uses his next move.
Fucking bitch! Sits there.
What was right to him and what he was told was the right thing to do. But in the end, in this gut-wrenching final scene,
My soul
he
is
chooses
stubborn.
not to follow Gemma to be with Ellen. It's a heartbreaking moment, especially because Gemma knows that Mark is severed, so she's not only horrified by this, scared, she's also probably
Come, my minion.
confused from her perspective. This wrenches her husband
Knock it
walk
off.
away with Ellen and Gift.
Doing this. Berserker!
Fantastic!
This entire scene, the last like 20 minutes of the finale, it's all just 11
in
out
time.
of 10
Thanks.
brilliant television. Insane
Halfway there.
storytelling.
Keep going.
Your powers are mine!
Those last 20 minutes alone are like the best.
Come, my minion.
It's golden. I genuinely thought it was able to be a cliffhanger from the season 1 finale. Nothing in my mind but goddamn, man, finale really sneaks up to the point. There's
Only
something
60
so
seconds left.
tragic in this.
Double kill.
They choose each other. They choose to live together, knowing full well that there is a monster and Ellie is literally an Egan. They can only exist on the 7th floor. That means they literally have nowhere to run
Almost
away
there.
to.
Don't
Mark
turn
and
back
Ellie
now.
often feel like teenagers being
This
locked
time
in.
it
Think
isn't
about
very
it. They
soft.
just feel like they are driven by those feelings.
Down to 30
This
seconds.
moment is exactly that. They're running, laughing, and holding hands. But this season ends on a great spring, and it was meant to liberate them to get
Behold the god of thunder!
They're no longer smiling. They were worried, scared, because they know they are running towards nothing. The same way as the about to open up at the beginning of the episode.
Logan's down? How is it possible?
He's fighting until we have a winner.
And to me, that's an incredible message. But there is something so frustrating in seeing Mark and Jenna be so close to escaping, only for Mark comes to them and refuse to finish the plan so he can kill Ellie. But at the same time, I want Mark S and Ellie R to succeed. And that's the brilliance of this weird romantic entangle. I am rooting for Mark and Gemma just as
Limbo
much as I
doesn't
am
let go
rooting
that
for Mark
easy.
S and Ellie R. And as somebody who particularly dislikes to say this is probably it's more of a one square but it physically involves the hopeful tragedy of Mark S and Ellie R is so impactful to me. You have to watch these two people know each other because they basically don't have a way to exist as people on their own terms. They choose to run away together, knowing there is nowhere for them to run but their own death. They're only buying themselves a few minutes of life, but they choose to do it together. I really admit that for most of the episode, my nitpicking brain kept wondering how this could happen with both the Blue Ring. But they're not a single secret on the server.
Behold the god of thunder!
Fucking bitch ass Wanda.
You wanna chime in here, Key? But anyways, I'm just being a nitpicky idiot here. This finale is a triumph. It is
Magic is
spectacular.
back.
I love
I
it
got you!
so fucking much. We haven't had TV this good in a really long time.
Fantastic!
When it's
Fuck.
talking about the season,
Bitch ass Wanda's just
like the
draining.
video is
Fucking scroll
close to being over. I mean, what more can you have to say?
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Stepping out of the shadows.
Sorry, soldier.
Sometimes the right thing is the hardest thing. Do it anyway.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Yeah. Huh. Lovely planet you got there. So, regular tourist hotspot.
How did you make it off alive?
Well, pair of fully charged element guns and
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Widow is operational again. Every little bit helps.
Plasma? You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks. Thanks to the brilliant minds at Star Fujikawa, where the world sees potential disaster.
Call, and the Iron Fist will answer.
I'm ready, bub. Put me in.
I'll be ship shape. Been knocked down before. Doesn't last.
All right!
Guys like this make it hard for me to get my job done. Berserker! Much better. You didn't even try. You're up! Armed and dangerous!
Okay, why not?
Go back to whatever sea cave you... Again! Again! Stick around! Here come our next victims. We're done here! Much better. My mission isn't over yet. It's clobbering time! They can take out Logan
Right behind
You made it halfway! Stop them!
You thought I was gone for good.
I am Groot.
You thought I was gone for good. Incoming!
back over.
Only 60 seconds left. There's still a chance to stop them.
Playtime's over! That's what I need. Not so fast!
I am ready to put on a show.
Heads up. Invaders from the east.
That takes care of the
30 seconds. Feeling stronger already.
You thought I was gone for
Final
good.
10 seconds. We stopped them in their tracks.
Armed
and dangerous.
Together, to victory! Prevails.
We make a good team. That's what I need. One down. Always glad to help, partner.